What is an impression and what is a center? When you meet somebody who meets each other for the first time, it's only creating an impression. And you may forget it. You may not meet me later and you can say, forget it, that was an impression. I think that person was good, bad. You know how we form opinions in our mind. Or if you like something, we've gone to a place, you like the place, you say that was a lovely place we saw, it was a lovely movie we saw, and you forget about it. But when certain actions, certain thoughts, which are repeated on a continuous basis, on a daily basis, or very, very frequent intervals, what happens is it starts creating an impression which becomes a center. And we have to be very careful, therefore, to understand what kind of thoughts really race through your waking hours. Because when you're sleeping, you have no control on your thoughts. But when you're awake, you have to be very careful in terms of how you respond when things really don't go your way. And that is the true test which you only can decide. But having understood yourself that yes, this is exactly how I should not be doing, you can actually make a conscious effort to make those changes. We have a procedure which we follow, which you can take it in the next session because that's about an hour or so. But the fact is, what we follow and practice it. Because with practice is what we can change our way of thinking. And that's very powerful from where we come. But having understood this, of how deep-rooted a center can be, it can create a lot of impact in your daily decisions or in your important decisions, especially for people who run businesses, people who have a lot of responsibilities at home and so on. Similar centers group together to form bigger centers like the temperament center. When we look at your temperament, what is a temperament? What do you mean by a temperament? Attitude, nature, character, mood. We say no. Normally, if you meet somebody, what do you say? He is of a dash. Hot-tempered, short-tempered, cool, calm. Isn't that so? What are you actually saying? You formed an opinion of that person that he or she is of a calm temperament, or he's very irritable. He gets irritated very fast, or he's able to handle everything so well. He's so calm about everything. He's so patient. He's so tolerant. What we have done is we have formed an opinion of the temperament of the person. Likewise, if people would have formed opinion about your temperament as well, of what it appears of the interaction you would have had. So therefore, when you try understanding this, you will see how deep-rooted your subconscious is actually responding to everything, whatever we do. Whether you like something, you do something, your subconscious is actually taking you over. When especially people who get angry very fast, people who are too emotional, who get worried very fast. There are a lot of people like that. They're always worrying about their children, whether he will be eating, sleeping all the time. The mother is always worried. What will he be doing in school, will he come first, will he be studying and so on. If it is a business, people who don't have ability to take a lot of risk will be wondering what will happen in the future. Markets are bad. Will my market, will it go up? Will my business be able to generate those kind of returns? What is that? That's a nature. That's a temperament. And that is those thoughts come from the center which is there in our subconscious mind. And when we understand that, you start looking at different centers which are of a similar nature to give you your predominant personality. We know a person, we know his predominant trait. We come to know his predominant personality of the way he or she behaves. And that is how a lot of centers which are there in your subconscious mind, when grouped together, can actually form your nature, your attitude, your personality, your character, and so on. That is what we mean when we really talk about another person's nature. To put it it broadly of how the subconscious mind works, we have what is called an identification and interpretation center. When you meet somebody, we know the person's name, you meet the person second time, you identify and you interpret that that person has come. Maybe you know that person stays maybe at Churchgate, he has come from Churchgate. That is how you feel a material, you know that this is cotton. You identify with things which you see and actually experience in your day-to-day life. You know this is a chair. How do you identify this is a chair every time? Because you have experienced it and it has registered into your subconscious. That way you have what is called an identification center. The second bigger center which we have is your like and dislike. We all have certain likes and dislikes from how we operate. You like something, you don't like something. You don't like colors, you don't like games, you don't like movies, you like going out. Some people are introvert, extrovert. That is the second most center which is predominant in our subconscious mind. And the third center is your instinct and desire. This is how your emotions operate. Women have more instinctive or intuition of what we say than men, broadly. What does it mean is, your instinct is if you meet somebody, you know something is not right. And your desires, whether you like to go out, you want to do something, somebody likes music, somebody likes art, cricket, so on. That is your third main centers of the mind. You have your temperament characteristic center, which actually decides in terms of how are you a calm person, are you an angry person, are you a balanced person, aggressive person, and so on. That is how your temperament characteristic is defined. And the fifth most important is your give and take account center. The give and take is what we carry forward. It's like a carry forward balance of what we have of our previous lives into this present world. That is the fifth center, and we will go and see how this center accounts as the main center. In the like and dislike center, we've seen a preference for certain food, cakes. These are examples which you can share. The drivers behind our action is at the subconscious mind, or we call the SCM, is your basic nature. We have all followed in terms of what are the 5 main centers which our mind has. That actually determines our nature. And based on our nature, we get thoughts. You had a thought based on existing nature of a person who all are present here. You had a thought that I should attend this. Either out of curiosity, either out of people who've been listening, no, let me gain from this, let me take it forward. So that was a basic thought which was there in a person's mind, which came from a center of curiosity, a center of temperament, like, dislike, and so on. And third is the actual action which translates from a thought. And that's why we do the things we do. Having understood what is the main structure of our mind, you've seen the 5 centers which operate in our subconscious mind, which actually control 90% of our activities, of what we do, either your thoughts or the actions. Let us go and see what are the things we do. Now, this is an example of a couple. As you can see, it's husband and wife. Bad decisions which you may take. Actually, this example is of a couple who got married and the marriage did not work out. So what was it? It was a bad decision on the part of the people who took the decision. Now, how did it work? Let us go into an insight in what made him decide. Because marriage is a very important part in everybody's life. It's an important decision which you take. And that, what was it that made him drive that? This is John and Mary, which you saw in the first slide. they used to have a whale of a time.